It happened one day, we came around the same way. You can imagine his surprise when he saw his own eyes. I was thinking,
Pastor John,
Yeah.
did you say you were gonna pray and we can get going?
Yes. Let me
Okay.
do this.
I didn't get there. I wasn't sure if I got that understood.
Yeah. I was
Okay.
trying to make sure that I hit that it over on Facebook. So
Okay.
yeah. And somehow I don't know why I get in this trouble. It's showing on,
Okay.
but it's not.
All
it's
right.
not-
I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that I heard.
Yeah. You heard me right.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know why it's not going over. And it should start already, and it should be. Wait, it shows streaming, but I don't know why it's not streaming out there. I don't know why. Okay, you're on YouTube anyways. We're going live. We're on YouTube. Father, we thank you for yet another Tuesday night as we come together tonight to share your word on marriage, intimacy in marriage. Father, I pray, God, that you continue to guide us, to inspire us, to see the things that you want us to see regarding the kingdom. That persons listening tonight, whether single, divorced, married, or planning to get married, they may weigh the options after hearing what we have to share with them tonight. But I pray, God, that not ourselves, but our experiences of our life may also be a tool that they may use, combined with your word, your wisdom, your knowledge, and our understanding as well. And their understanding will help improve their relationship. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. As I turn over now to the host of tonight, Minister Joan Walker.
Amen. Good night, Pastor John. It's always be a pleasure to be on the show. So Veronica, how you doing? I like the hairstyles.
I'm doing very nice.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Wonderful. That is so good. Yeah, I'm so busy, Veronica, but tomorrow, just send me a little note a little message, and I will try. And I was trying to text you back, but my phone sometimes, I need a new phone when I get back to Canada.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just got one myself.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's much better than the last one.
We need to get one. Yes. So good night to our guest. Pastor John will be shortly with us, he said. We haven't seen his face, we just hear his voice, and we like to see his face also with those great beards and all of that. So I hope he will hurry on. Let us see what he looks like. So
Amen.
welcome to our fans tonight that are waiting on us. I hope they are still there waiting on us tonight. Welcome, one and all. Tonight is another wonderful night that we're expected to do a great job as usual, with the help of the Holy Spirit. It's
Yes.
messy in marriage. Without the Holy Spirit, you cannot do I cannot do anything. I don't know about you, Sister Veronica, but
Mm.
without the Holy Spirit, I am zero.
Yeah, we need the Holy Spirit to
Yeah.
guide us.
First guidance, and his protection. Yeah.
Mhm.
So without the Holy Spirit, I cannot do anything because he is the one who leads me. He's the one who shows me. He's the one who directs me.
Yes.
We are lost without him. And so tonight, Valentine's has gone by, and it was a Valentine's in Jamaica is very nice. So the whole weekend we wear red. We went to funeral and we wear red.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And Saturday morning we went to prayer breakfast, and then from the prayer breakfast we went to a funeral. Can you imagine two separate things? I didn't want to
Yeah.
prayer breakfast. It was so good, but we had to go because one of our neighbors died, right? And
Oh,
so
yeah.
go to that funeral. Yeah.
Well, at least you ended on a happy note.
Yes. Was really nice. Was very, very, very nice. Yeah. And so the weekend, Sunday at church, beautiful. We had a beautiful weekend. God has been really good to us, and the weather was wonderful too. So we know that that has passed and gone, and a lot of people had a wonderful time. People did different things, and so we just want to give God thanks for that.
Oh,
Mm,
yeah.
We just
Yeah.
want to give him thanks, want to glorify him. And so tonight on our program, you know, this question was thrown out at me this week here, that when you're getting married, who should you choose to be your maid of honor? They weren't sure. What do you think, Sister Veronica? I thought, wow, I've never thought about why you should pick this person. Because people have different reason why they choose different people, right? People,
Right.
What do you think?
Well, I think I'm going to go with what tradition says, that the maid of honor should be someone who is married, someone who may have some experience under her belt, and someone who means you well, that can give you advice and times when things are not so good in the marriage. That's
Mhm.
gonna guide you and lead you in the right direction. That's what I believe. I believe that
Mhm.
it should be, and they always say it should be somebody older. I don't know if necessarily it needs to be somebody older, but definitely somebody who has wisdom in marriage and who has been in it for quite a while, I would say.
What I find that in these days and time, people are just using their good friends because they're good friends and they're not married.
No,
I've been to a lot of weddings, and I even go to weddings where people don't even know people, but they use them because um, they know a little bit about them. I saw and I thought, this person is going to be the maid of honor. This person is not even married. They're younger than the person who's getting married. They have no idea. Even at the wedding, things were left out because their maid of honor is supposed to help you to plan your wedding.
right, right,
And because they
exactly.
have no idea, they were out of line. And I had, at the last minute I'm saying, where is this? Where's that? Oh my God, I forget. So as you said, I think it's somebody who is responsible, somebody
Mm-hmm.
who at least married already, in a good marriage, you know, um,
Mm-hmm.
maturity have to be there,
Yes,
you
definitely.
know? Mm-hmm. Maturity
Definitely.
has to be there, not because it's your friend. You know, people
Right.
says, "Oh, we are friends. We know everything about this person," but the person doesn't know anything about marriage. They haven't
Right.
been married to know, you know? And so, um, I don't know. The person asked me because they're getting married and they're having issue with who should be or made
Maid
of.
of honor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I want everybody to sort of have that question tonight to see how far away we are on it or how close we are to believing in the same thing. Might be the younger generation will have a different
Mm-hmm.
concept, you know, of
Yeah.
who should be your maid of honor, right? So I'm not sure when Pastor John comes what he thinks, you know, about
Mm-hmm.
who should be the maid of honor. And those of you that are watching us, please input, please put your questions and your answers to Facebook, right? So we will be able to sort this out, you know,
Yes.
and be able to have an answer. I hope she's watching also because I told her we'll be on at 8:30. And
Mm.
it was 8:30. So where are you guys? I says, we're coming. We should be on by 9. So, um,
And then Minister Jones,
yes.
some people don't even choose to have, they just choose to go to the justice of the peace, the courthouse, or something like that. They don't just, just a witness.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking at this is a AI overview in Google search, and it says
Mm-hmm. What does it say?
a maid of honor is a close friend or family member, the bride who helps with the wedding planning and stands with the bride during the ceremony. She's often the
Mm-hmm.
bride's right hand woman. And it talks
Mm-hmm.
about the responsibilities. She prepares, helps with the planning, the bridal shower, the engagement party, and rehearsal dinner. And it says
Mm-hmm.
the day of the wedding, this person should help the person get ready.
Get the
Make
maid get dressed, yeah.
Yes, make sure they eat, that the bride eats and drink, and holding the bride's bouquet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And our dress, yeah.
yeah, during the ceremony, she should stand next to the bride and help with her dress, her veil, and
Mm-hmm.
flowers. And it
Mm-hmm.
talks about other tasks too. It helps with, maybe if she have the DIY projects, like making the bouquets and the flowers on the table, and she's supposed to be that person. She's the one to answer any text questions, any questions that may come up with the wedding party. She's supposed to be the one that has the answers for that, and goes
Mm-hmm.
with the bride to the vendor meetings. And of course, when
Mm-hmm.
she goes and gets her dress fitted, that person would be mostly the ideal person to go, you know. And most times, if the person that's getting married, if their mother is there, the mother is there also, and
Mm-hmm.
anyone else who would be considered close to the bride. It says that the maid of honor, who should be someone she trusts. That's the main thing for me. It
Mm-hmm.
must be somebody you trust, right? Somebody
Mm-hmm.
who's, like you said, responsible and feels
Mm-hmm.
comfortable, that you can confide in,
Mm-hmm.
that maybe that day you're not feeling the best, right? And you need somebody there that knows you, that has been there with you through thick and thin, that knows the good, the bad, and can say, hey, I know this is going to be okay, or maybe you should be alarmed about this right here, or maybe let me worry about that for you. I would think that the maid of honor would be somebody that would take the heat off the bride, right?
Right.
Let me handle certain things and don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
It talks about the history, um, about the term maid of honor, which
Mm-hmm.
comes from the tradition of a maiden, who was a woman who had been married and attended to the queen of princesses. So yeah, we know that the term maid of honor has been around for quite some time. And
Right.
of course, in the traditional marriages, every woman has a maid of honor.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, like you said, it's a friend. But I don't necessarily believe that it should be a friend unless the friend is older. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, like I said, the friend is married, right? And that's why they call them maid. They're supposed to be older, wiser, mature, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, it's a question. As you said, I think about the same way you did. You know, not just any and anybody, but that's what I'm seeing. Having wedding here. The person is a close friend, a school friend, a mate. Years when I was getting married, actually, my maid of honor was my cousin, which we went to school for all our lives. So we live on to each one on the right side of the street, the other one on the left
Mhm.
side of the street. We used to bathe in the same thing with the water before the bath, and we just bathe together. And so we know everything from that time until even now.
Oh
She
yeah.
was telling Michael things about me. Oh, look here, she's a pincher, she's a penny saver. I said, stop it. Yes, because she knows more than Mike about me, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
she gave all these different jokes. So
So
yes,
you, Minister John, you said this is a cousin of yours?
yes, she'll actually
Is
tell
it
you
a first cousin?
my first cousin. We're
Yeah.
t- we're two brothers, children.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm,
I have a cousin, and we're related, but we're she's also my best friend as well.
mhm, mhm,
And we get on the phone and there's hours go by, literally 3 and 4 hours go by. We're
mhm,
always talking, we're always lifting each other up, we always care about one another, so when I think about a maid of honor, that's who it should be, right? Somebody
yes.
has been matured,
Mhm,
that knows, right? She
right, right.
she's now a widow. Her husband died some years ago, but she has remained single since then.
Mhm,
So
mhm. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to get married again after
yeah,
time, after you're a certain age. Once
yes.
again, I wouldn't think about getting married again. Why should I? What's for? What for? Uh, yeah. You think I'm thinking about it?
Huh?
You think I am thinking about it?
Well, God forbid, but if you ever got into that position where you could marry and you met someone else, it could be. I mean, you might think your current husband is the love of your life, but if God forbid if something was to happen and you saw somebody, you was like, "Well, thought I was in love, but now I'm really in love." It could possibly be somebody out there like that.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. What plan God has.
Somebody might have their eyes on you already.
Oh,
Just
Jesus.
wait.
Waiting in exile.
Yes.
Yeah, no, 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 not possible. Don't worry. If so be the case, then you will be invited to the wedding. Don't
Oh
worry.
yes, definitely. I would miss it.
Yeah. Where are the others? I want them to come on. I guess probably have to go back to it, to get their young mind, their
Mm-hmm.
opinion. on what do they think, you know?
Yes.
And my other question is, can you choose to love someone who doesn't love you? How do you feel about that? Can you love someone who doesn't love you?
Oh my God, that's a hard one.
Mhm. Can you
Um,
choose to love someone who
it
doesn't love
depends on what I think, yes, you can choose to, but what do you do with that
you?
choice? What
What
do
do
you do with that decision? If the person doesn't want your love, do you love them from a distance? I mean, I think many women and men are in that same position or have been in that same position
Mhm,
where you love this person here and they don't reciprocate the
mhm,
feeling. So yeah, it's pretty hard, but I think that it can be it is done, you know. You find a lot of women who get married and the person that they truly would like to marry don't have the desire to marry them, so they choose another person,
mhm,
you know, but secretly, you know, and I know John probably listening, secretly
mhm, mhm,
they
mhm,
got somebody else in mind, you know.
mhm,
So it's I think it's possible. I don't think it's wise, but I think
mhm,
it's possible.
mhm. Yeah,
Mhm.
because you do find most of the time, I think women fall into that trap of loving men that just looking just for their needs to fill their sexual needs.
Mhm.
And they get caught up in that web, get caught up in the trap of falling in love with the men. And they're not in love with them because sometimes they are married men and
Yeah,
it's just sex. And they get caught up with the whole thing, with the money and with the sex,
yeah, yeah.
right? So I I'm not sure. I've seen it. I have to think about it. I've seen it. I've heard of it. Where and men too. There's some men that are deadly in love with some women who are not in love with them because in love is totally different,
Oh yeah,
right?
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So it's one of those. This was one of the difficult questions that we had on our panel last time that I went to this other marriage and meeting counseling. And that was one of the difficult questions that we had. Can you choose to love someone? Can you choose to love them when they don't love you? That seems so impossible.
Is it impossible?
It seems impossible for you to choose to love them and they don't love you because the thing about when you're loving someone, excuse me, and they don't love you, you can tell.
Oh yeah, the handwriting is on the wall, it's in your face. Every time you interact with that person, you're constantly reminded, you know,
Mhm.
of how they feel. Maybe it's something that they said, maybe it's something they did, you know, just, you know, not giving you the love and respect that you deserve. You know, you
Right.
can tell. Yeah, you can tell. And a lot of people go through that. A lot of women, you know, go through that and just, you know, be in silence when it comes down to their mate. You
Mhm.
know, and they realize that maybe their husbands didn't really love them. Maybe they uh
Mhm.
love them based on you know, financial or marital convenience,
Mhm.
you know, maybe just the companionship of it,
Mhm.
you know, different things, right? So yeah, I think it happens more often than what we think.
Mhm.
That's what I believe.
That's right. I
Mhm.
think so. I
Yeah.
think it does. I think it does happen more often than we would ever believe. What do you think about loss and love? I know we discussed this here a few months ago or so, but I guess not one of my friends wants to know if this is a loss or this is a love. What do we think the difference? And we can go on that
Mm,
research on that. What do we think? What is the difference? What is the difference?
I think
Love does
I
not
think
hurt. Loss is instant, right?
mm,
Right. But love doesn't hurt. It's not supposed to hurt,
right.
as as what the word says. But loss is instant.
Yes.
Huh? So you're telling me when love doesn't hurt, when you're having a disagreement with your spouse and you have this argument, this big argument, and you hurt each other during the argument, does that mean that you don't love each other? What do you think?
I think just what you said, love doesn't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I think that love doesn't hurt. I think that when people get into arguments and they say things that they know will hurt the other person, I think it's most times intentional. Um, and is that love?
No.
No, I don't think that's love. Not at all. Especially when it's one thing if you hurt me and you don't intend to hurt me, it just happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
different than you going out deliberately saying things that you know is going to hurt me, that's going to make me feel bad, that's
Mm-hmm.
going to make me want to look at you with the left eye, that makes me want to retaliate, that wants to
Mm-hmm.
be on the defense with you. I do believe that um, when a person does that, that is not love. Um, and then, you talk about lust, you find some people who are in a relationship and then they lust after one another, and that's their way of making up in the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is a physical thing. It's not, there's no emotions behind that. It's just sex with another human being. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I believe. Lust is just a sex with another human being.
Mm-hmm.
There's no love behind that. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think. I think because if you love a person, and I think that if you love a person, sometimes you do things that you know is the person won't like, right? Sometimes you find yourself withdrawing from those things because you know that you love that person and you don't want to hurt them. Um, but I mean, lust is something that feels good to the body, that's momentarily, right? It's not something that's long lasting.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually they say sometimes all good things wear out, or all good things come to an end,
Come to an end. Yeah.
but love is everlasting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's long rooted, and it happens. You can even you think about married couples, right? And it's good if you're friends, right? Because then even when the marriage is not so good, right? You can always look to your spouse and say, you know what, hey, let's go get an ice cream cone. And then you can find something to laugh about and, joke about. And, maybe that would ease things over, if you're friends. But if you're not even friends, hey, when the times get rough, you don't want to be around that person. You want to get far from that person, right? So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think that those are valid questions to have in a relationship. Um, And if I had to choose love or lust, I'll choose love every day.
Oh, of course. Why would we choose lust? Of course, love is over lust.
Hey, back in the day, there was no love on the table, but it was the lust that was there, you know? And all I can say is thank God for deliverance.
No, it's true. It's
Yeah.
true. It's true. Mhm.
Mhm.
Gosh, it is.
Even when it come down to my ex-husband,
Mhm.
I sat back and I said, why did we get married? Like, why? I
Should ask
really,
that question.
yeah, I really
Mhm.
believe that I truly loved him, right? I can choose, as you say, choose to love you. But
Mhm.
I think at first he chose to love and to care, but then over it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't long rooted, right? Yeah, it was more about the lust after a while for him. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So
Mhm.
it happens, people, and then the thing about it is that some people could be in love, and then it could be somebody that comes into their life that brings out that excitement in them.
Mhm.
They want to explore it, right? They want to explore it. They want to say, hey, I want to see what this is like. I want to see what this
Mhm.
feels like. I want to experience this person, and they just, they think about it and they know that it will hurt the other person, but they go for it anyway. And unfortunately, you know, some marriages are like that. Some relationships are like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but loving someone, you should have a different feeling when you are in love. Isn't there a feeling there you can tell from the bottom of your heart that either you are in love with the person or the person is in love with you? We should be able to figure that out.
Oh, I think it's obvious. I think it's obvious. Like you said, your feelings are involved.
Mhm.
You can, yeah, the body knows. The body knows, right? The heart knows. The body knows,
Mhm. Mhm.
and you can feel it. There's tension in the air. The person is looking at you. They don't even get, even as you having a conversation, they're like, "What are you talking about?"
Mhm.
They don't even get you. They don't even get your little small quirky ways, your little, jokes and stuff like that. They don't even get it. They just, like, they look at it and say, "Oh, that's so stupid."
Mhm. That means you're not on the same level. You're
It's
not
not
thinking the same way.
right.
And
And then you can ask
and
the question, who changed?
you see, there you go.
Who changed?
And I I just think that people are getting married. I hear sometimes people say age doesn't matter. It does matter.
Oh yeah.
It matters. I don't care, you know. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sister Lisa, welcome.
Good evening, good night. How are you?
Yes, lovely, lovely.
Good, good,
Looking
good.
lovely as usual.
Oh, thanks.
Welcome,
You too.
welcome, welcome.
Hey,
Well,
Veronica. Good night. Is
Good
it just us
night.
three tonight? Yes.
no,
Huh?
Pastor John is somewhere there hiding.
Oh,
We didn't see his face, we just heard. He said he's doing some,
okay.
I guess he's working on his books. I,
Oh, fantastic.
I don't know. We are just saying that he
Okay.
didn't tell us what he was doing. But we
I
know he's
just,
doing something.
okay. I just came
Um,
from a webinar. It was on Black women's health.
Yeah, how was that?
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Women were just talking about some of the concerns they had in the health system. Um, some women took the time just to talk about, some of their personal challenges that they had. And there was a survey that was circulated. So she was just sharing the results of the
Mm-hmm.
survey. So,
Mm-hmm.
it was nice to speak and
Yeah.
just talk about some of those things because I'm going to be doing some research myself
Mhm,
And I had reached out to them. So now I know who's on that team. Hopefully they could get back to me
mhm.
and support me on my research.
Yes, 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 yes. You're doing an awesome job, and
Oh,
so
thanks.
I so appreciate those things that you sent to me.
Hey,
Don't
that's
think
what's
I
going
am
on right now.
circulating them, I'm circulating them,
Lots of them going
especially
on.
among the young people. I'm so happy for some of the things that you have been sending because I've been saying the young people. Sister Veronica, excuse us a little bit. We're not cutting off what we were talking
Oh,
about.
I'm sorry. I did. You
Yeah.
know what? I just walked right in and I just saw. I think.
It's okay. So, oh, yeah.
Oh,
So
geez.
I am sending out, especially to the young people.
Yeah.
I know a lot of times I'm saying, why don't they have some training for the young people? A lot of
Yeah.
them talking to the young men, they said, we don't want to go to college.
Okay. And my
It's
thing
too
is, you don't have
long.
to.
It takes too long. So if there's a trade that they could want to learn within a year, then
Mhm.
they would be able to stop doing a lot of the things that they're doing.
Yeah, but my thing is, it takes you 4 years to get out of high school. So
Mhm,
why would 3 years in college be too long for them? Like, what does that mean to them for too long that
right.
they're not able to sustain their attention for that
Mm,
period of time? Because then
mhm,
we should talk about that. I used to work in the college and I used to do accommodations for students that could have had an IEP in high school and
mm,
they need some extra support in college. And
mhm,
I hardly saw any Black students getting any support. And
mhm,
then when I started doing outreach in the community, I realized that our communities were not targeted to
mm-mm,
say, here's some extra support that you can get.
mhm.
So we didn't know. So
Right.
I start talking to Black students and I say to them, hey, there's some support out there. If you need extra time for your exams and this is what you do. I mean, we're just not given the same opportunities as other communities are.
True.
And
It's true.
they
It's
take
true.
advantage of the resources right away. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, well, like, where's our people? All of us should be getting extra time in school because we weren't afforded a
Mm-hmm.
proper education and the right courses to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
The system
Mm-hmm.
was designed in that way. I mean, I was just talking about that the other day when people tell me, they're surprised about our financial literacy in our community. And I said, I went to a high school that was predominantly white.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
had economics and accounting, but my counterparts and all my friends that were Caribbean that went to the school 3 blocks down the street, um, George Harvey,
Mm-hmm.
there was no economic courses, there was no accounting courses. So the system was already designed to put us back,
Mm-hmm.
lack
Mm-hmm.
of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
if you're already getting paid at a lower wage, you're
Mm-hmm.
only going to be making do with what you have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's all we were told, that that's the money you get per hour, not
Mm-hmm.
knowing that the white man's getting $1, we're only getting 50 cents.
Yeah. And that's why I'm so happy when um you ladies or the Black race having their own business,
Yeah,
doing
we
their
have
own
to.
thing. It's so wonderful. I applaud you guys, honestly, because I know
Hard.
my daughters are doing the same thing also. They have
Yeah,
their own business and it's working very well for them.
good for them.
Yeah.
You
Um,
have to do that sometimes because,
mhm,
when
mhm,
I was at my job, they just said to me when I furthered my education, well, this is all we're going to be able to give you because, we can't recognize your extra degree because your job position doesn't require those qualifications.
mhm,
And I thought, well,
mhm,
that doesn't matter. You could
mhm,
still find some room somewhere to give me something extra. And they were saying no. So I
mhm,
was wasting my time there.
mhm, mhm. Of course, of course. You have to
Yeah.
just do things on your own, do your
Yeah.
own business to really to get to somewhere. It might take you a little time to get picked up and going, but you
Yeah.
just have to keep press and push and it will be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be wonderful.
Mhm.
So tonight I have this question that I wanted you guys to come on as the younger generation to answer. Me and Sister Veronica already answered in our old-fashioned way. So we thought we want the young ladies to come on so they could
Okay.
answer. And it's when you're getting married, who you should choose to be your maid of honor.
Oh,
What
this
do
is
you
a
think?
fantastic question. Finally, we should have had a call-in show for this one. After the call that I was on just a little while ago, this is why
Really?
women are having issues. Like, did you choose the right person? So, I love
Oh,
this topic.
wow. Wow.
It's one of
Wow.
my favorite topics. This is what I
Yeah.
talk about in my practice,
Mm,
because, we have to go back to the beginning
mm-hmm,
of what we noticed when we were growing up as children.
mm-hmm,
And sometimes based on the vision that we have witnessed and what we've been grown up in, we feel we deserve a certain type of love. And remember last week we were talking about, what does love look like? And
mm-hmm.
we were talking about the different ways that people express love and
Right.
what people do put up with in their
Mm-hmm.
relationships.
Right.
And we have to go back to what we grew up in,
Mm-hmm.
we witnessed, and what we saw around us.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed that right now in our community, 75% of the Black women are single mothers. So there seems to be a disconnect in our community that says that the only way that you can find love is being through singleness.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what happens in that relationship where it breaks down,
Mm-hmm.
but you're making a commitment that based on what you saw with this person,
Mm-hmm.
you want to have a child. Now, there's other women that do have other motives for having children.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have anything to do with the father. It's just their own innate sense of feeling that they are ready and this is what they want to do, regardless of who it's from.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes from some type of childhood, I can't say trauma, but
Mm-hmm.
some message deep down
Mm-hmm.
of what you think your role should be when it comes to childbearing. And you're saying by this age, I want to have a child no matter what. Women are telling me that they have this hormonal calling that says that they're ready to have
Mm-hmm.
children.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other
And there's nobody.
And then the other one is, depending on our status in this country, there are women that do have children because they need to secure themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only way they know how to do it. And then we have the ones that, they feel that they had a solid relationship. And this is the commitment that they want to have with this person because they know that that's a bond through their love that they want to share their life with this person, so they want to produce a child. But it's all based on what we saw growing up. And if you had a mom that didn't talk to you about what love was like, or you didn't see your father in terms of him being a loving person in the home, it is going to shape your perception about the partner that you're going to have in your future.
Right.
And then on top of that, it's your lived experience, the people that you're around, whatever your social influences are. I remember growing up, everybody liked Brad Pitt,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
right? No, every culture liked Brad Pitt. So did it mean that we were just only interested in white men? No, they didn't mean that.
Mm-mm.
It just meant that his characteristics and his features and the way that he presented himself made him desirable
Mm-hmm.
to all types of women.
Right.
So I always ask people that are stuck in relationships, well, when you close your eyes and you picture what that desirable person looks like, what does that person look like? What are those characteristics
Mm-hmm.
that you were actually looking for? And we also have to think about where we're at too, because I'm telling you, the men that I chose 20 years ago, I definitely wouldn't choose them now.
With them now, not at all.
And that's through maturity and that's through wisdom and learned
You
experience.
you've grown up. You
Absolutely.
have grown up 20 years later
Yeah.
and you're wiser.
Mhm.
You're
Well, some
smart.
of,
Yeah.
yes, and some of us are stuck in a stage of development. And I
Mhm.
do question those May, December romances when I see the woman is 20 years younger or the man is dating someone that's 30 years younger than him. Yes, I'm gonna question that because I want to say like there isn't anybody in your pool of age range that you're attracted to. But we all get attracted to people at different stages of our life, and sometimes we're stuck in that stage. And
Right.
that's what we gravitate towards, or that could be what gravitates towards us. But
Mhm.
ultimately, it's about your choice. What are those characteristics when you close your eyes and you say, well, this is the picture of what
Mhm.
I think that ideal partner should be or should look like?
Mhm.
This is where we need to start. Like, what does that look like to you?
Right. Mhm. Welcome, Pastor John. At least we see your face now.
Yeah.
He loved the topic.
Haven't
He
you?
wanted to get right in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Oh,
have
you,
you have a new background.
yeah, that's okay.
That's
I think
nice.
I'll leave that one this way.
That's nice.
Everybody okay?
Very
Yeah.
good. Very
All
good.
right. Yeah. So, oh boy, I've been listening for the longest while. I hope I get everything. I know somehow they still have some problems on the other side trying to get this on Facebook, but it's still on YouTube. So I sent this Minister Jonah sending the
Yeah,
link
I saw it.
and
Yes.
just share it on Facebook. So that's what I've been doing here, sharing on Facebook. So
Okay.
my people could get
Still
it.
not on
Yeah.
YouTube.
It's on YouTube, so you could share from YouTube to Facebook and from your
Okay.
end.
Mhm.
Yes. All right. So I've been listening to all of the different things that was said, and can I start with the maid of honor?
Mhm.
I think that a maid of honor again should be a trusted person,
Mhm.
and the trust factor comes in with how much I could allow my spouse to be in close contact with that person.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
The maid of honor should be someone who has been mature enough to guide me. I have some experience about marriage
Yes.
and preparation for marriage. Yes.
Mhm.
In that way, she knew all the intricacies of getting prepared for a wedding
Mhm.
and the marriage after.
Mhm.
Someone I can go to say, hey, look, I have a problem in that area of my marriage. Can I talk to you about it? Can you guide me through that at this difficult part? You've been there. How you dealt with that before? So
Mhm.
help me here now to navigate through these waters. See, not necessarily be a best friend, because a best friend might tend to not try to hurt your feeling by telling you the truth,
Mhm.
right?
That's right.
But you want an honest person who has a bird's eye view of marriage, wedding, and relationship.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not just somebody who is my good friend. I'll just choose that person to be my maid of honor, so to speak, right? The
Mhm.
person must have some experience, at least. It could be they have never been a maid of honor before, but they have been married. They have been in an environment where they have seen to look and learn and probably make suggestions. For example, I'm not a banker, right? But many of the things you see in some of the banks happening today have been in study groups for 3, 4, 5 years in suggesting things that should be happening in the banks, right? And I go to the bank now, sometimes I go to the bank and see things happen that we have introduced or suggested to the banks, right? So I'm not a banker, I'm not a financial expert anymore, but things like services and things that seem to be needed, to be done, I'm seeing them happening. And other people who have been in those positions, in that bankers, in that anything close to that, but it just was called in for the views and what the opinion. So a maid of honor could be someone who have been to many weddings, saw different things, and thought, well, if I'm in mind, I want my this is different than that. And that person could be anybody in your neighborhood that you know, that you trust and you like. It doesn't have to be hey, like somebody that I swim with every day. You know, because sometimes you somebody who knows your secret may not even want to hurt you, Philip, or nobody. You know what? I think Joan is too timid. She can't take correction. She's strong-willed. You know, I don't think she'll be able to take my advice that's serious. She will pay me as a friend, but you know, and I see Daniela, it's someone who give you medicine whether you like it or not is good for you. You know what I mean? It's okay when you feel about the medication, I'm gonna give it to you because it's gonna get you better. So the mission of honor, made of honor, should be someone who will give you the truth, the raw truth about your preparation and your marriage, and counsel you through that, to help you through that first 5-6 months of your wedding. Because you know, we know what happened in the first 5 years. You know, 50% of our marriage end in divorce. Now, not just the person you're married to, but people who you associate yourself with. Like somebody who constantly getting divorced will never give advice, may not give advice to stay in a marriage. They say, well, I don't follow this man and go to business, could be better without him. You know, instead of this person saying, stay and work it out, and here, this is what tips you may use, you can use to help strengthen to keep the fire going. So a mission of honor is a lot of things to want to that one person. And sometimes they're doing their shop around as well. When it comes to selecting the dress, when it comes to selecting the shoes, you know, the jewelry and stuff like that, you know, the hairstylists and so on. The way the wedding will be kept, you know, don't do a budget, don't spend the money on the wedding, but people for your marriage, you know, how to invest more in your marriage than in your wedding day. You know, so keep it simple, you know. So you need somebody with a strong sense of direction, that knows and see the vision of the years to come, not just the wedding day. So I think when you're making that choice, it'd be somebody that is rooted and grounded, you know, and all rounded in everything. At least, yeah. The other question I had was loss and love. Loss is now. Give it to me now. Want it now. Love say, let me wait, let me hold on, let me take my time with that one. You know, loss is infatuation. You know, it's not really the boy, I think that girl look really good, you know. I was if you knock that 2 or 3 times and move on. It was a knocking situation when you're lost in. You know, when you work with somebody, you take your time with that person, you know, you allow them to grow with you. You know, you pray. I have a situation where I have an in-law that was followed for years by a gentleman. And he didn't just lust him, he was loving, but she was not giving him the attention. Yes? And I can tell you today, after 30 years, they're married now together. And the final meeting was with me, you know. And I happened to say to her, if you lose that one, I'll kill you myself. After about a half an hour interview, I went and said, look, this is the one, keep that one. Everything else have to go. You know? And today they had a very good marriage. She's from Grenada, he's from Jamaica, you know, and they do well together, you know. So I'm proud of them. And there's other couples that help put together. But what I'm saying here is this: you have to choose wisely. And lusting and loving is 2 different things altogether. I can lust after you as much as I want, and when I get what I want, I'm out. You know? Love stays. But most about it is knowledge, how well you know the person after loving them. Because love different keep people together. A lot of people married and they divorced, right? And they was in love with that person. But they not love that separate them. It's a misunderstanding, intolerance. You know, I can't stand the way he brushes his teeth. I can't stand the way he chews his gum. I can't really drink his soup. Every time I see him on TV, you know, and he chews them. You know, all this stuff. He come here and squeeze his toothbrush on the top, and I want to squeeze on the bottom. He come and be shooting from the door. You know, he don't brush his teeth every morning. He brush in the evening, or, you know, all this stuff. He take a shower twice a day, once a day, once every week, and I can't handle that. You know, so all of the intricacies in the set you up and love. When you're loving somebody, You know, there are a lot of things. Knowledge is, do I say, deal with them according to knowledge. So you can love somebody and coach them into becoming better than when you met them. You know, I don't know about you. Some people, some men will tell a woman, "I love you," and you say, "I don't love you," but no, you say, "You don't have to love me. I have to love you." As a command, husband, a man, love your wife as Christ loved the church. You know, so that's a command for men to love. You don't have to love. You have to honor. So once you start loving, you should start honoring. I think when you start loving somebody, they'll start honoring you and respecting you. So love over us. I love is give me now. I want it now. Everything now. Show me it now. Give me everything now, and that's it. Love is a longer period of time. And if you love somebody, you don't really rush into anything with them. Take your time
Right,
and grow with that person.
right. So, Sister Danielle, good night.
Hi,
Welcome,
good night,
welcome.
good night, good night.
How are you?
I'm okay. I was
Yeah.
just wondering who is this Teddy Pendergrass on the show tonight?
Who is who?
Teddy Pendergrass.
Oh,
Hallelujah.
you
Am
know,
I off?
why do you have to trouble Pastor John?
I
We
know.
we saw everything and we weren't ready yet. We were gonna wait until the end.
I can't. I don't have that control.
You just like to bug Pastor John.
She
We have the
just,
control. We wanted to
Okay,
finish, and at
so
the end, we just what happened? Did you fell into something or
I
something?
don't know.
It looks nice. I
Oh,
love it. You look
Valentine's,
younger with this one.
Valentine's,
Oh yeah.
Valentine's.
Oh yeah.
So
oh my God.
thank the Lord.
See? That's why we
Daniela,
wanted to stay at the end so we could be
Daniela, you'll get in serious trouble, Daniela. Sorry. I like,
Well, me and Abby was on the same train. Me
yeah,
and John daughter. So
yeah. And wife and everybody else was like, come on, guy, get it over it. It's much over.
oh, anyways, I'm good. I'm good, guys. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good.
you're shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's happening with you?
Yeah.
Why is it shaking?
It's okay now.
It's okay now.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit better now.
Good.
Okay,
Mhm.
so as you hear our question, and I wanted to hear from you so badly.
I, I didn't hear the question. Sorry.
I'm gonna tell you, when you're getting married, who should you choose to be your maid of honor?
Oh.
How do you choose your maid of honor? Who do you think should be your maid of honor? Who would you choose to be your maid of honor? Who you think should be your maid of honor?
I already have someone in mind,
Mm-hmm.
and it's someone that I can. Is the person who will tell me the truth, whether I like it or not,
Mm-hmm.
and also compliment me, also remind me that I'm enough, and always because I'm one of those people. I'm not. I don't really take compliments well, and I never look.
Why would you not take compliments well? Well, how do
I
you
think
feel about
it's
compliments? Why you say you don't take it well? Because
because
there's two ways about that. Yeah.
I don't I don't know how
You don't
to.
want to be complimented?
No, I do, but I don't. Okay, so some people, what to say, words of affirmation, what's the thing? Words of affirmation is a love language. That's not my love language.
Mhm.
So you know how if you don't tell me anything from a like I'm okay because I receive love by action and quality time. So when someone say, "Oh, you're pretty" or something, I start to just, "Oh, thanks," and then scoot
Instead of
over.
saying thank you.
Yeah, and I've been doing that for years until my good friend pointed it out and she said, "You, I noticed you never say thanks, you never acknowledge it. You just kind of like you. I literally don't hear it. It's just like
You
poof
should
over my
acknowledge
head."
it. It's something good. Just like
Yeah,
how
because
people says, "Oh, I don't do Valentine's," and like last week, some people, why not?
mhm,
It's something good. It's talking about love. Look here, we went all the way. I was telling Sister Veronica that we went to funeral on Saturday,
mhm,
and we both were red. We were
mm.
red from head to toe.
Hey, show up, Jamaican girl in town.
We were red, and we didn't care.
My Jamaican girl in town with
Yes,
his name.
yes, yes, yes.
But you see, like for me, I receive love in other ways. So I don't.
Mm,
I'm not. It's okay if I don't get nothing on Valentine's, but bet your bottom dollar you better come through on my birthday. I don't
mhm.
play when it comes to my birthday. I don't play
Ah,
on certain things. Like if I have something going, like I need you to show up for me. So it's okay if I don't get it on Valentine's, but at the end of the day, there's other ways I would expect it, right?
Mhm.
But I, for me, need friends who tell me the truth
Mhm.
because I'm very hard on myself.
Mhm. That's why
And
you call them your friends. To
but
tell
then
you
not
the truth.
everybody will tell you the truth.
But
They
that's
would
not your
watch you
friend.
going down the wrong path and they
Mm,
would be happy to see you go down the wrong path. And
mm.
someone who also doesn't have a grudge over my happiness.
All right.
Well,
Amen to
that's
that.
not your friend. People who are not happy for you, they're not your friends.
Mm.
But then the thing is, when we choosing a maid of honor, a lot of the times we just choose maid of honor for, I don't know, like we don't think about when you're in deep doo doo with
Trouble.
your husband
Yeah.
and you need someone to bounce back on or someone who could pour into you and your husband. You don't think at that time. I'm not a big believer in the 200 people wedding. I am huge on maximum 50, and that's even pushing it because I don't have 50 close friends.
But this
Or
mixed with your family too, right?
yeah, but then I don't have 50 close family friend
Look
family.
here, having a
I
wedding, I don't even need nobody else. My family alone, both
but
my husband and my family, they can do a whole 200 easy. And that's
yeah,
just
but for me, the same way how you look at it, for me,
Mhm.
having family, I don't want the crowd because I need the realness. I don't want people eating my chicken and talking about the chicken the next day wasn't enough. You understand? So for that's just me. I've been to weddings that's massive. Up to now, I don't know what the girl wedding dress look like.
Yeah.
We put so much efforts on those things. I don't remember what cake. I don't remember. Maybe I remember, oh, they had like some lighting, someone came and danced, but I don't remember what the gown the guy wear, the suit the guy wear. I remember, guess what we remember? You remember when he cheated on her, when they divorced, you remember they had a lot of debt after they got married. You
Mhm.
remember those things. So I'm
Mm.
not big on that. For me,
Mhm.
and family is overrated in a lot of scenarios.
Mhm.
So I am big on who is gonna be for me is an intimate setting, someone who would be blessing my marriage,
Mhm.
who is there with the eye of support, not looking there with evil eyes. And then later, you don't know what's going on in your relationship. You're like, why I can't get around? Because you had people in your circle who doesn't want good for you. So I'm very intentional about it. I'm the type of person I tell everybody that don't be surprised I call you tomorrow and I said I got married yesterday.
Oh no, you're not
That's
gonna do that.
no, that's how
You're
I
not
am.
gonna do that on
I,
this
I,
program.
I
You're not
pull,
gonna
No,
I
do
I
pull,
would
Pastor
rather
John,
do
I'm
that.
sure
I pull,
at least you will hear and
No,
you will pinch us.
I pull up a monkey mason and I'll show you now.
no, because no, I rather do that. And then you will have a party 5 years later. You come to the party after the 5 year anniversary. We celebrate that.
Mm,
We bring everybody in. But the people who is gonna be around me is
mm.
people that genuinely wants for me.
I,
And that
I
is
don't,
just from a life experience.
I
So
don't, I don't know
I
if you saw the lady I
so
was speaking to, Daniela,
mm-mm,
at the dinner. She came up to me with her glasses, got a flower dress. She had cancer and everything like that. So get out my wife, my late wife. And she got married after she go through her cancer stuff. And she had a very small wedding. Very small. I think he had about 10 people in it. Right?
mm-hmm.
But then a year later, she threw a summer party, backyard party. I invite family and friends to come over.
Yeah,
And
party.
that was amazing, you know. And she alive today and well, you
And
know.
that's how I envision my
Yeah.
marriage. I don't envision
Yeah.
I first of all I don't like going and choose dress and the whole house like I get anxiety just the thought of it. And how many people gonna be in the wedding train and oh la la. And then you have to go test the cake and then no. Give me sample option one, option two, option three. How many people? 25. Contact the 25 people. You show up and listen. I could party. I'm one of those people. I'm a party girl. I party. So when I party, my party is lit. So you will be at a wedding and you think there's 500 people in the wedding. That's how my energy is when I'm around my friends. So I just want something small and intimate. and beautiful. You could spend $1 million and it's 20 people in the wedding. So for me personally, I just want very, very close friends, very, very genuine people that will be there when I call upon them in my hard time, in my struggles, when I'm going through. That person will be there to tell me, stay with your husband, and not telling me, oh, really? He did that? You should cut the lights off. You should not cook for him. You should not do that. Because there's a lot of other women that's around. When they see your joy and your happiness, they envy that. And guess what?
So
They
yes.
feed and they
Wait.
feed into that. So no, I don't care about the big hula, to each his own. And anybody I date and any guy I notice that talks about big wedding and all that, a lot of the time they're not genuine. They're doing it for show.
If they have
So
the money, that's fine, but I'm not
it's
going
not
to
about
spend
not
any
even
money.
about the money. It's not even about the
Because
money.
to do big weddings, you have to have big money.
But that's what I'm saying. But then
I
guess what? They don't look at it like that, Sister Joan. They look at it, they have a party, they have their 15 and 200 friends, uncle, auntie. But then the pressure is on you as the wife after.
One guy came to me and he wanted to have 60 people in his wedding, but the money that he has only can do 30 people. And I said, how are you going to have 60 people with 30 money that you have is still for 30 people? I said, you have to go again and count and change and come back again because it's not like he has for 50 people. Then you say, okay, fine.
Yeah,
You
okay.
save time because there are lots of times because I have everything already. I don't have to go and buy anything. Lots of times I give people stocks, They said, oh, they will have 60 people, but this is what they have. So okay, fine, we'll do it. Everything is here. Probably I just have to buy a few decoration to add in the colors and that's it. So it's okay. But you want 60 people and the money that you have for 30? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So there are people like that. But anyways, we put it together, and he actually went down to 40 people, right?
Okay.
And it went very well. So that's what I'm saying. There's some people who want to have this big wedding and the money is there. When they come and you put it on paper and give them everything, the list, it's like, I didn't know that wedding cost so much money. Like I said, you should be in Canada. This is nothing in Jamaica because if you're wherever you're coming from, I charge you in that currency. There is nothing. If you should see 60 people in a wedding in Canada, this is no comparison.
It's true, it's expensive because just the each plate is usually like $200 to $300 a person, a plate.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember my friend went to
300
buy
a
a cake.
plate.
I was shocked when she saw the size of the size of the cake and they said $1,500. I was wondering, well, how many people getting out of this cake?
Mhm. Yeah,
And all because you said wedding, and that's another thing. If you
that's
tell
it.
them it's a wedding, they give you that. And I learned that. I had to tell my friend, don't tell him it's a wedding. Tell him it's for a birthday party. But tell them the colors you want. And
Mhm.
guess what? The price went from half. All because she said it was a birthday party. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Well, the same thing for us when we were getting married. After the next month, we were married for 21 years. We were getting married, and Michael was looking after it in Jamaica. He was the one that was asking all the questions and all of that. And the day I came to Jamaica and went with him to see the venue and all of that, everything went up double. Double. If it was 100,000, it went to 200,000. And I said to him, no, 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 no. Not
Wow.
doing it. Let's go back because Michael
Mhm.
used to work at this and probably a villa. And they have a nice, beautiful place there. And I said, let's back up. Let's go back there and let's work out something. And they had a pool and everything there. But because we were having 150 people, not again. That was then, because 5,000 Canadian dollars that time.
So that was
It
cheap.
was cheap. But now it's million, right? And so we went to them to where he was working before and work it out. And we had a beautiful wedding. beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wedding there, so and that's why I said to Mike, Mike, after seeing what they charge us because I was coming from foreign, put it that way, I'm gonna ask God to give me a place so especially the people coming from Canada, America, wherever they're coming from, so I could work along with them. I'm gonna ask God to bless us with that place. And I live to see that God bless us with that
Amen.
place. And
Amen.
especially when I would write it down and says, okay, you're having 60 people, it's 6,000 Canadian dollars, right?
Wow.
Or something, it depends on your menu. And they would like, what? Because when you check that in Canada, it's so much money.
Yeah, it is.
It's a whole 60 people in Canada to get married.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm? Because I have everything, so I can do something for you. You know what I mean? And I see God has turned it into exactly what we prayed for. Because people always come to me and ask me, do you know anywhere in Jamaica that we can get married and all these stuff? And then you have to, and I said, God, I think you're talking to me about this thing. And so God has turned it around in our favor. And so we just have one wedding from Canada also. It was 30 people, and then she came back and said there's 10 more people coming in. And this is okay. Just had this to it, had that to it, because the
Mm-hmm.
10 more that was coming was 5 children included.
Okay.
So I just said, okay, instead of give me this, give me that. And she was pleased because the children weren't eating as much as the older ones, right? These were little kids, you know, and they were really pleased with whatever I charged them. And it's not like I'm losing. I'm not losing,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So you're right. When people you tell them, especially come from foreign, they hear that you're coming from there. One woman phoned me, she's a Seventh-day Adventist, and she said you would have to cook vegetarian. And she asked me how much, and I put it together, send it off to her. Then she phoned me back and says, oh, my friend's daughter just got married in Jamaica. And so we're going to use that venue and let that person, because the person's in Canada trying to find something out
Mm-hmm.
there to get married. And I said, no problem. That's okay. It's your daughter's getting married. I said, you have to do what you have to do. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? She phoned me back about a week ago. The person is charging them for 60 people 8,000 US dollars. I said, good for you.
Oh,
Good for you. Because she thought I was charging her too
too
much.
much. I know it's US dollars.
US, and I was charging her less in Canadian dollars,
That's like
including the food.
almost
Mhm.
11,000 Canadian dollars.
She said 8,000 US.
That's a lot of money.
She's gonna charge. It's a lot of money. And she wants to come back now, but I'm holding her half a little bit. The wedding would be in June, so she have a little time,
But
right?
for me, even if I don't have a big wedding, because I'm not into, for me, my honeymoon is gonna be important. I see so many people put so much money into their wedding, and they don't enjoy themselves. They don't go out with their husband. I don't know if a honeymoon is a thing anymore. Like, I don't
But
know.
we
Is
do
that
honeymoon every year. Is it
yeah? But
when
you
it comes
do.
to our unit on our anniversary? Yeah.
I know my friend spent almost 100,000 for a wedding, and she couldn't go on a honeymoon.
Well, a lot of them don't. They spend out all the money going on for the wedding and the honeymoon. Anyways, we
Yeah.
turn it into wedding party and here. Sister Veronica, thank you for being so
Oh,
patient.
yeah. You had another question for me? Or that was it?
Yeah, I do have another question for you. What do you think is the difference between lust and love?
Well, lust, as we know, is just a temporary affection. Something it's with your eyes.
Mhm.
You could lust over food, you could lust over people. So it's nothing,
It's
it's just a moment.
instant. It's
It's an
instant,
instant,
yes.
you see it and
Mm-hmm.
you want, and then, but you have a strong desire to want it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're lusting for it, and you have to have it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And love, obviously, love is just beautiful. It's a beautiful feeling that you feel, and you want to be in it all the time.
Yes. Yes. No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah,
You
it just
want to be
evokes
in it.
yeah. It
Mm-hmm.
releases endorphins when you're in love, and endorphins are good things. It helps you, make you happy, calms you down, you know, so you're not upset and stressed out. And this is why when you see some people at work, you're like, she don't have a man. Well, her
Mm-hmm.
man making her unhappy at home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true. You can tell. You can tell if a woman or a man is happy at home. You
Yeah.
can. Right, Pastor John? You can. Pastor Janica? Yes.
Oh, yes,
You
yes.
can tell.
You
I think when a
can.
woman, oh, go ahead, John.
No, you go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I was just gonna make a comment. I was gonna say when a woman is in love, everybody knows, right? She's smiling from ear to ear. Her dress is
I think
flowing.
Daniela is in love.
I'm
Yes,
in love with myself. I actually said that the other day. For the first time in my life, I always used to be, my friend always say I'm always on. So I'm always holding on to some, like I will be like, oh my God, if I meet someone, I'm like, I'm holding my breath. Oh my God, hopefully the person likes me, whatever. And just recently I realized, oh my God, I don't need that anymore. So now I'm
That's
really
great.
in love with myself and I'm happy with myself.
And that's wonderful. I tell people that all the time. When you love yourself first, you will be able to love others. And I
yeah,
love myself. I love myself. I treat myself lovable. I do. I love myself. I love my body. I love me. Pastor John is waiting to say something about that. I love my body.
Pastor John, I don't know what's, but I'm wondering is, I don't know if probably it's age, I don't know, because I'm
But
early 40s right now, so I don't know if that's another side of my
It's because
womanhood.
you're in your right space of your career now. You're
Okay,
doing everything for you, and the only thing left for you. I remember when I was at your stage, and the
okay,
only thing left for me to get was my husband.
okay,
Everything else. I
okay,
have good job, I have my good home, I have good family, everything beside the husband. And I remember going to bed and say, God, I have everything else beside the husband. And I
okay.
remember dreaming about the husband, seeing Mr. Michael Walker on the wall.
so,
Okay.
hmm.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that because I've just felt something the last month and a half where I released something, something just came off me.
A
And then
light
I'm
bulb just turn
yeah.
on. Mhm.
And
So,
then yeah. So thank you for telling me
You're
that.
so,
I
welcome.
so,
appreciate
so,
it.
so Mr. Joe, let me ask you this because
Yes, sir.
I know Brother Michael is your
Sweetie pie.
second husband and loving and every lovey dovey. How was it for your very first time? I mean, like in your first marriage, what was it like getting into that mood of like getting married, the excitement in your younger years, in your 20s or whenever it was, how was that for you as a young lady, step into that high heel shoes, walking on the aisle,
And you know I
and
love those high shoes.
yes, how was that first moment for you? Because
Mm,
it's
it
a
was a
different vibes.
different feeling.
Mm, mm,
Because young, having children,
mm,
and you thought this is it. You're in love, the person in love. But when you're young, you especially when you have children at young age,
right.
and parents are saying you have to get married. Our parents in those days, you have to
Mm.
do this, you have to do that, and you end up doing these things, and then after certain time, now you realize, what did I do? Because what
Why did
you
I get
thought,
married?
yeah, because what you thought you
Would
had,
have.
that's not what you have.
Mhm.
It's
So, are you talking about lust and love, right? Was there a lust factor on either side of your relationship? You to him or him to you? What was it? Was it a lust thing? Some people, I don't know if you grew up in church then, but then when they see
I
two people,
do, I do.
right? So two young people growing up in church and they kind of affectionate, they
Mhm.
say, I think you guys should get married before you guys
Right,
get
right,
pregnant.
right.
I see a lot of that happening.
Mhm.
and I will share it in my situation. My first marriage was totally different. It wasn't in church, and just two people that love each other from teenage years right into adulthood, right?
Mhm.
And then after she passed away, mine to Taki now, or we started talking and started thinking, I remember Pastor Greg, I could see that. He came up to me. So when's the wedding? I said, let me tell you something. Don't do that.
Mhm.
I ain't play those games.
That you went through that already.
I said, I don't play them games. Okay? When I'm ready to get married, I'll let you guys know. Don't do that. Because they have a tendency to let you
Yes.
push yourself into a situation that you're ready to get into. And they make people make bad decisions into getting married when they see people young and get married. And especially I see it happen in church. But I see a young lady got pregnant in church. And because she was kind of into the whole church thing and the altar thing doing stuff, they make her come in front of the church to apologize for her pregnancy. And that, to me, that was crazy. That was crazy. That was so wrong in my view. I would never embarrass somebody like that.
No.
If I come from a pastor of a church.
No.
That is your cross to bear. I'm not gonna make you come in front of the church and do nothing like that. You know? I'm not respond to her and say, don't do it, don't do that. I heard that she's gonna do it. And I walk across by and I said, don't do this. I knew she understood what I was trying to tell her, but I said, don't do this. And then
she did.
And she did. And to me, that was like, that I didn't like that. You know? Because
that was nice for her to do it.
Because it's very same pastor, his daughter too got pregnant and they got married. How did that work out for them? It didn't last.
No.
You see, infatuation is not love.
It can't be.
And not because two people talking, they desire to get married. No, they don't want to get married. They explore each other. It's not time for marriage. You know, and I got a new revolution this morning. It's something going to put in a book or something about marriage, about dating and relationship. It's totally different. You know, scripture, what we do in normalizing one thing for the other. Okay? What the Bible saw as wrong, we normalize it as dating. We call it dating today, but the Bible had a different terminology for it. So we're normalizing dating today at something Bible will look at it and say, no, this is not dating. You know, this is hold up, right? But we call it dating today, right? But the Bible call it hold up. And I'm thinking about it. That is something we don't want to talk about in church. We entertain it as dating, but we don't call it what it is according to scripture. So that is something else outside. But what I'm trying to say here tonight, and I wanted to piggyback on something you said, Pastor Joan, is the fact that when you getting married, the excitement that comes with the marriage itself, the expectations of what would be, the vision of what would be 5-10 years from now. Nobody sees in hindsight, we go fight a lot. We will quarrel over food. You know, no, nobody talk about those stuff. Oh, you come home drunk, you come home this early, you'll be this, you'll be out late. And all of a sudden you get married and oops, you have this to do, you have that to do, you have this to do, you have that to do, she have this, she like this, she don't like that. And before that, we never knew all of these things. So now you still love the person, but you cannot tolerate the attitudes, the work ethics, the politics, the church life, you know, the way they eat, the way they drink, the way they sleep. You never know their snowing habits. You know what I mean? You never know their shoes smell. When they come by, they perfume their shoes. When they come, they shoes by you, it's relaxed. You know, and all that kind of stuff like that. So after getting married, the challenge of living together begins. People get sick in the process. People get depressed in the process. People try to make things work and not working out, and another person just totally gets like really sick, really disconnected in everything. And people walk away from sick people.
Yes.
They don't stay. So for the young people, the people who are trying to get married tonight, planning to get married tomorrow, love is not a thing where you just grow over. I say we all grew each other. There is something that you do not like about other person anymore. Now you all good at person, but just can't tolerate them anymore. A lot of times that happens. especially in a lot of cases, some women, the men be supporting them. And once they get educated on the virtual level, financial level, they could take care of themselves, get a nice job, a good position. They feel don't need that money anymore. And they say we all grew each other.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes, yes, yes.
you don't
And
agree.
I think, Pastor John, that's what happened in the first place.
Yeah.
We could grow each other.
So
Mhm.
nobody go. One person or go the other person. They ain't gonna go each other. The person that you married to was always there doing what they're doing, but you know, go by another level till you feel that no, I'm making more money than you, I have a better job than you. You better step up.
Mhm.
You know, after that person dedicate their life to you to make sure they go to school, pay your way into school. And then you turn around and say, hey, you know, why don't be any doctors in my office? Why don't be like the boss in my office? Why don't be like that person, my supervisor, this? And start comparing your husband with the person next door. You know, why ain't get a car like Jimmy? You don't know what Jimmy did to get the car. So Jimmy selling drugs. You know, Jimmy doing something else to get what he have. And you force him to get into that position, and then you can't get it, you leave. And you get yourself together and say, what? I tell you this life. It's a classic example of you pick up fine time to leave me, Lucille, Kenny Rogers. You know, I stopped living on dreams. You know,
Yes.
I can't live on dreams anymore. And that is the same thing that when you get into a marriage, it takes time to bring to fulfillment the vision
Time to
that
know each other.
yes, it does. It does.
It takes time.
So
Go ahead.
it takes understanding to keep our relationship together.
Yes,
Not
it
love.
does. It does.
Understanding.
And I think that's where Mike and myself is. We understand each other. Yesterday I called him. He went to work on a boat, and I know sometimes when he works on it, he feels very dizzy. The movements, and I thought, you know what? Let me call him and see what he was doing. And I called him, and I could tell immediately that he was having seasickness. And he didn't say anything. And I said, the way you answer, something is wrong. What's wrong? And he started to tell me that he was having seasickness. Because the wind was so rough. They was so rough yesterday on sea. And so when it's that rough, because what happened, you has to take the pill before you go on the ship. Or even if you're going on a cruise, there are pills that you take before you go on. Well, so you don't get seasick, right? And yeah, and that's how you have to know each other by the answering, by the way you answer. You must know, no, sir, that's not the regular way how you would answer. And right away, I know something was happening. So you have to get to know your spouse, to know, they don't even have to tell you that something is wrong. You know that something is wrong by just answering you. And I'm sure you can tell the same thing by me answering him too, or he knows when something is wrong. You know, I will just be listening and not saying anything. You know, so we have to try to learn.
It's life is a long experience, eh? And as you go through life, you will find yourself learning as you grow. Yeah, you get to know your partner better, him or her, and you learn to make choices and make decisions and take corrective measures as you grow together.
Right.
And one thing I find it's important to do as you're growing together is to apologize often.
Yeah,
And say,
it works.
And say I love you and take accountability, whatever you do.
Accountability, yeah.
Have to.
Yes.
You know, because a lot of times in relationship, nobody wants to. Sometimes not everybody don't take accountability for the actions, whatever they did wrong.
Right.
You know, we love praises, but we don't want to be told when we do something wrong.
Do something wrong, yeah.
And either you man up or you woman up.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But you have to take it.
Did she go? Mr. Riddick, I know you're there sitting so long waiting to say something. You're still on. She's still on. Where are you?
Yeah, she go and she went and get some pudding. Yeah.
I'm here, I'm listening.
Yes.
So either
what do you think?
woman up or man up, because at the end of the day, man, relationship is about two people in it. Yeah. It's not a one person thing. And everybody has to learn to respect each other at their level,
That's
you know,
right.
and learn to grow together and live together. You know, you have to know
And
the
you see,
person.
when you respect each other, Pastor John, everything works.
Yeah. I mean,
Is the key to a good marriage. See, when you respect each other, there's some things you don't even want to say to the next person
there
because,
is,
excuse
yeah,
me, you respect each other. And that's the key. That's one of the key to having a good relationship, a
yeah.
good marriage. Respect. When you don't respect
Mm.
each other, I'm telling you, you're
Yeah.
like puss and dog, is what my parents would say.
I think it's important. I think it's critical and necessary for people, even before they get married, to talk a lot about the do's and the don'ts. Yeah. What the things that one of the things I think I love about mine is that I kind of understand, I have a pre-knowledge about what my wife like and don't like. Yeah. So it make it easier for me to live with. Yeah.
I don't know, Mike, probably that. But I think he just do me something. He just do something that he don't know me. I don't like just to get me all wind up and then take me back.
You do something just I want to get you better than you something probably. You know?
Just do something, and then he just said, "I didn't mean that." You know, I just want to see you get
Easy.
upset.
Yeah. I think it's always a fun thing. And you know, once I think if you live with somebody over a period of time,
Mhm.
you'll get to know them, what they like, what they don't like. And even though they don't say it in words, the action will speak.
Amen.
Because most people,
Amen.
the thought is expressed through the actions. Yeah. So you have to be a good reader of people, right? Look at the actions and what they do repeatedly in your presence.
That's right.
Even when you're not there, things they say, they do. When you're not there, when you come and see certain things a certain way, over a period of time, you know that's how they like it that way. So
Right.
you just when you see that way, you put back that way. So when the person comes, you know, they know he moved, but it is back in place.
Back in place.
You understand? So
Yeah.
you don't have this problem like, okay, for example, I know my back toy is supposed to be a certain place. I know tacky back in that side, mine this side. If I move it and you know, I don't put it back in the place, I know, oh my goodness, I should put, you know, I should come and say, John, did you fix your back toy? She knows it's not fixed. You shouldn't let me go fix it. Did you fix your back toy? Let me go and check. But she knows it's not. She won't come and say, boy, you know, and no. So you ask you, John, do you fix your back toy? And I start thinking now, oh, he's not in the right place. That's what I'm saying. So the language you use, how you say what you say to the person, will make a big difference. Now, if she comes and say, boy, how are you? I was like, no, I'm sure you, and they create a big problem. But now she knows how to talk to me.
Of course.
Right? And I know how to respond.
Of course. Of course.
So
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm well, actually, I'm well trained. So I know exactly what she It's like when I come from work, I said I put my content in the plastic bag, my content I put in this thing. Then did you wash the dishes yet? I know there is something wrong with this. So then how long me? And then come over to your content in there. Who you think you from your media or something? You know, the sink is clean. I just come take out my content from the bag and
And
throw it
choosing
in.
it.
Right? And she passed by from the room when I come and she do all the greeting and say, but did you check, did you leave the container in the fridge in the sink? Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll take care of it. You understand? I see fights over that.
Oh yes, people
And big cussing over that in some relationship. You understand? So it is a level of maturity. You know what you say, how you say, and how you say it to the person.
That's right. This is how you say it.
Right? Because she could get flip off the rap every time. You know, instead of that, she'll draw reference. Did you check did you wash your dishes at work? And I know I didn't wash that, I just put in the sink in the plastic bag, just like that.
I'll just say to my honey, remember to just put that there. Just tell him in a good way. And it is okay, no problem.
There's no need to be hostile about things. You know, I think one of the recipes for disaster in marriage is being intolerant. Yeah. And say, I can't be bothered with him, and you tell me this and that, and cussing and kind, and then before you know it, he feel disrespected, and she feel used, and she feel abused, and all this verbal fighting going on, and then some physical and some kind, and then one person want to walk out. I can't take on that anymore. I'm out of here. You know. But if you speak to each other instead of shouting to each other,
No, yes.
you know, it will make a big difference. And that's why it's important to communicate effectively. And one is listening to how the person speak to you.
Right.
And communication is a big thing about listening. How well you listen to the person. If you're not listening, you have a problem.
Still really got finished. Sorry about that.
Yes, go ahead, I'm up.
Sure.
Which question did you want me to comment on? Or can't hear you.
Sister June, you block you mute your mic. Your mic muted.
Yeah, I figured that.
Oh.
Yeah. We're wrapping up. So we're just going in general with what we will finish all the rest of the questions next week. Because you were waiting so long, because impatiently Sister Danielle came on, Sister Lisa came on, and we were on first. So you sort of give them the option to speak when they came on. So I'm getting back to you.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's 10:37. Okay, so we'll go up until 11. Is that okay, Pastor John?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. I haven't, yeah, I'm okay. 11 is good. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So we have 20 minutes. So we'll take 5 minutes each. Only obviously 5 of us for you guys. We'll just finish on this one. Let me see which one we should go with. Okay. Yeah, okay. Since we are on the love and loss, let's do this. How can we improve on our love life? Let's do that one. To end it. That should be nice ending it, right? How should we improve? Go ahead, Sister Veronica. We'll start with you. Go ahead.
What should we improve? What should we do to improve our love life?
Yes, our love life.
In my case, get a husband. No, I think that you have to keep it light. I think you have to keep it light and interesting. And I think that as John was saying, you have to choose people that, that you enjoy being around, friends, right? You must be friends with the person. If not, I think that the marriage won't last that long. It could be long lasting, but the people in the marriage will not be happy. What's the purpose of being in the marriage if the marriage is not happy? So the thing is that you have to do things that you know that other person is interested in, right? Show some interest there. I think that's one of the ways that we can keep the marriage going, and both people will be satisfied. Most people say, well, it's all about me, it's what I want, and no, it's not. If you're not ready to serve that person that you're marrying, then you don't need to be with that person. You're not ready for marriage, because marriage is about serving the other person. So I think that for each person, for each couple is different, but you have to find out what works best for you. Right? What does that person enjoy doing? What is it that they want to see you do, right? What is it that they want to see you two do together, right? All that is important. And I think that spending time with one another is important. Right? Spending time with one another, cooking with one another, doing things that you can both find enjoyment in. Right? You both can have enjoyment, and those are the things. So in other words, that's what I think.
All right. Starlita. Thank you. Starlita, where are you? Come on in. Come on in, darling.
Hey, yeah, no, I was listening because it was just a great conversation. And usually that's part of what I do is just, like to listen to different perspectives. Yeah, I didn't really have much to add. I'm just really liking how the conversation is flowing. So just wanted to add that. And that's all I can say for now.
Yeah, well, I was sort
You
of
really have much
asking our
difference.
last little question, how can we improve um our love life or anyone's love life? How can we improve it? Because we are talking about lust and love and marriage and all that. So I thought we'll just finish
Yeah.
it off there. What are
Well,
some of the things you think to improve it we could do?
I mean,
I would say start by being honest with yourself, being honest with yourself.
absolutely. And I think I
Mhm,
said that when I first started talking about, the choices that we make. And we
mhm,
really have to sit down with ourselves because the choices that we could have made a while ago, now that we have new information, those things change.
mhm, yeah,
So my thing is, yeah, you need some time to just sit with yourself and start asking yourself those questions like, what is it that brings me joy?
mhm,
And when I'm with a partner, what are those things that keep me connected and engaged
mhm,
with someone? What
mhm,
brings me those smiles? And you should be able to generate two or three things
mhm,
out of those questions. And my thing is, if you're really having a hard time coming up with something about your partner that brings you joy, then you have to really start reevaluating the relationship. Because sometimes women, depending on what season we are in terms of our needs, sometimes we're not really clear on what makes us gravitate towards somebody. But these things are all in our subconscious based on how we were treated by our own family and how we've let other people treat us. So, in order for you to even think about where you need to go from here, start sitting with yourself and start sitting quietly
mhm,
and start challenging yourself. What were those things that went wrong in the past that you didn't agree with or you felt was a clash
mhm,
in your previous relationships? Those should be flags or signs of things you don't want in your current relationship. And if
mhm,
you see that you keep on recurring the same pattern of behavior with people, then the common denominator is you.
mhm.
And that's when you have to start saying to yourself, well, wait a minute, why am I always getting into these situations choosing the same type of people? Then you
Right.
need to remove yourself and you really need to start holding yourself accountable for some of the things that are happening. And
Mhm,
you're not going to know unless you take some time to be by yourself and ask yourself those questions.
mhm. Okay, thank you. Where's Sister Daniel? Thank you. Your turn. Where did she go? Went to have something to eat or something? Pastor John, go ahead until she comes.
I came back.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. What do you think? How could you improve on your love life?
So I just to echo with what Veronica and Althea said, love yourself first. Once you have love for yourself, it's easy for you to request what you need in a relationship and be honest. And in while you're going through your seasons in your relationship with your partner, um, before I say that, I heard a long time Oprah said the way a relationship start, the way it's gonna end. So start your relationship with a strong communication base where you could be honest all the time with your
Mhm,
partner because nothing is gonna be linear. Gonna have moments when you don't feel yourself, and I just don't probably want to love you, or I don't want to, or maybe I just don't love that same way anymore. But if you're honest with the partner, right, like from the beginning when you start noticing things, and your partner knows noticing things, like Sister Joan was just saying, when how she called her husband, she knew something was wrong. So that you have to be is again to become one. So once you become that oneness, you know when that person is falling apart. You know when that person is not themselves anymore. As opposed to be watching that person unravel and you're not asking or you're not providing the support, then it affects the relationship because now you break the bond, you break trust, and now the person doesn't feel, as women, we don't feel protected and safe anymore. So and men like to feel safe too. and probably Brother John could chime in to say, men do want to feel very safe with their wives.
Mhm.
So I think it's important for us to have that open, clear communication, have those honest conversations. And
Mhm.
those conversations can be where you do monthly check-ins or
Mhm.
maybe after making love.
Right.
That's when he releases all his inhibition. Know what works for the man. Women, we have that tool. Use it.
We do, we do.
You do. So use it that moment when you realize something is up with your husband or where you notice something is up, where you can be honest. But one thing I believe that really bonds someone, traveling with your partner. And I
Mm.
mean traveling not back home, not to Grenada or you from Jamaica. Traveling to a place where we don't know nothing, we don't know the language. Guess what? We have to rely on each other. We have no other choice. But I have to rely on you. You need to rely on me. And try to incorporate that as you may not be able to afford it all the time. And no one is saying you need to travel outside of the country. Canada is huge, right? America, Veronica, the US is huge, and the US have a lot of beautiful landmarks, right?
Oh,
That
yeah.
we don't explore. So travel and make that a point of your relationship. Take trips and travel together. And at that point, I don't know. In one of my relationships, I noticed we did a trip. We used to go to the what's the place, New York, every Labor Day. And that year, we decided we're gonna not go Labor Day. We're gonna go Boston. And I would tell you to this day is one of my best trips. And it brought us together closer. Obviously, the relation didn't last, but during that season, that's when I realized how important it is. I need to rely on him. He needs to rely on me. And then
Yeah,
we
so
talked
Veronica, we're
about
not
it.
coming over there for now, Sister Veronica. We don't know if we'll come to America, if we will come back to Canada. We're not coming over there.
I wouldn't recommend you coming over here now because you might get sent back.
We don't know if we're gonna come back to Canada.
No, but yeah, but
Hmm?
Well, it,
but it does create a bond with you and your partner, and it's a beautiful thing. And then as someone was saying, like you make memories. You cannot replace the couch or the TV or whatever, but you could replace the couch or the TV, but you can't replace the memories you have. So that's all I have to
So true. That is so true because Mike would remind me of when we just met and what we did and all these things. And sometimes I don't want to hear it. I don't want to go back there because it was too crazy. And I'm thinking, you remember that? It's good to remind each other of some of the good things that you did in the earlier days. Sometimes I don't want to hear it. It was too crazy. But it's good. It's good to remember when, especially if you're going through bad times, it's good to remember the good times that you had.
Oh, Sister
It brings
Joan,
back memory and it brings back laughter.
what's happened to the couple you said that went away? Are they back yet?
They're coming, today's what?
The 18th.
Day, Tuesday, Thursday. They
Okay.
extended their time.
Wow.
Things are going well.
So that's to say, you see the trip.
The trip, things are going well.
That's
They
beautiful.
extended their time and I'm communicating with them. Things are going well. So I think over the weekend, even though we're gonna have a busy weekend, we're having a prayer breakfast here on Saturday. I will make sure Sunday evening, I get my lowdown and how everything went and all of that. But so far, it is good. And I know we're gonna get a lot of think prompts up on that one because we help them through. We help them through. Yeah. So we're not just on here looking pretty every Tuesday night. We're doing our job. And thanks to you guys for taking the time out to come on with us in the night. We appreciate that so much. We're gonna have a party as soon as I get back. Don't worry. But
Veronica,
sometimes,
you can come. You can come. We will
hmm?
send you back.
Sorry. I have to come and do my income taxes. They
No,
will.
but Sister Veronica can come and definitely we send her
Yes,
back.
Sister Veronica should come over.
We
Sister
boycotting
Veronica.
all US thing getting boycott now.
Sister Veronica should come over,
You know,
man. Come join us.
we'll make a special exemption for Veronica.
Yes.
The beautiful thing about, well, I don't know. It used to be the thing that, when if you were in the United States, you can travel anywhere, right, with your passport.
That's
But now, look at South Africa. Said we don't want you over here. So it's many, and I see even Jamaica is. I see people in Jamaica saying the same thing. But you know, I hope that we as a people can stick together and enjoy one another, enjoy life, and not be so divided. I hate
yes.
that we're so divided. That's how they conquer us, because when they can take one person or one group of people and put it against the other, it becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes a problem, and I don't like it that way. And unfortunately,
Okay. Thanks, Salita. Mm-hmm.
we have
Just
somebody in office that likes that confusion, situation, that riotness, and
okay.
racism and that type of.
Mr. Moss, our name is gonna overthrow the president at any time.
Well, you know what?
You watch and see what's gonna happen. Mark my words.
Yeah, they're gonna hit but his,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be a big mess,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
now, one thing, I was talking to my sister about it, not trying to get on that subject, but my sister, we were talking last night, and I asked her how did she feel about it, and she says, "Well, I'm loving everything he does." And I said, well, why are you loving it? She was like, for many years she wasn't able to get a job. She's like, she's thinking about the people from Venezuela, how they abusing children, and she's like, I'm glad to get rid of those people. And then she went on and said, well, maybe now that they're cleaning out the government, you know, even tonight before I got on, he was on there saying about how certain people are still getting Social Security that's 127 years old, 140 years old. And I thought when he said 140 years old, I said, okay, that's too much, right? Then he went on to say 150 years old. Then he went on to 180. He says somebody 200 years old is getting Social Security. Then the last and final number, he said 364 years old. And
But
I
that's
believe
cheating,
him.
right?
I
Somebody's
believe him
cheating, yeah.
because I know a friend of mine, well, it wasn't a friend, an associate of mine, was was getting his mom's Social Security even after she passed away. And I said, you,
But how does that happen? That will not happen in Canada.
they don't report it.
But
They don't.
when you don't report it,
They didn't
Pastor John,
report.
does that happen in Canada, Pastor John? We know?
There's a case where I can't remember exact case what happened, but there's a stoppage now on people coming to the country after 65. Before they used to get pension, and some get some old age pension, something like that. They should be getting it, some allowances. But I think the previous Liberal government cut that off. Ontario government, yeah, cut it off. So if you come in the country, your children have to take care of you. Yeah,
Mhm.
for the next 10 years or so. Not government, they can't get no government assistance if they didn't contribute to the society, to the system. So they are cut off that. Before you can come in and bring your mother and she get
Yes,
assistance, but
everybody could
yeah.
come and get
But not
um
now. Not now. It's different now.
my neighbor up the street when we go walk in the morning. She just said, Joan, these people they come here, I work so hard and they just come and they're getting more money, CPP than I do. That hurt,
Yeah.
you know?
And
It's
that
Yeah.
was
not fair.
that was part of the problem too. We had
Mm.
we had millions of people in this country that was, even the people that was in New York City, they was putting them up in nice hotels. They was giving them, thousands of dollars to support themselves each month, and under the Biden administration. And I am kind of happy that Trump is clearing all that out, because that's money that we as U.S. citizens don't even have. Like for an example, you guys can come over to the United States and they will give you, I'm gonna say, a free ride, because you guys can get things that even we as U.S. citizens.
Well, the same thing me and my daughter was talking about this morning. That people comes in and you were the citizen of Canada, you don't get some of the things that they
No.
would get. You don't.
Right.
My
Right.
daughter and I was talking about the same thing this morning. Because we have some student that they just came 2 years now. And they got the same amount of check that we got, that $200, Pastor John.
Yeah.
And they were asking if their mail is here and their mail is. So when we realized it's everybody getting their check, they're just here a year, some of them, but because they did their taxes, right?
Yeah, once you do your taxi work, once you see another thing to it, and let me say this: people contribute, and I hear it being said already that, oh, I work all my life, and these other people come 2 years and they get, people when they work 25 years, 45 years in this system, upon somebody work 2 years or 3 years, they're entitled to the benefit that the society provide for people who are landed and legal.
Yeah, well, we don't care, but that can't you die at 40 years and working, and they just come 1 year and get the same.
Yeah, but we're getting
That's not
that.
fair.
But listen.
I'm not saying that they should not get. I'm saying it's not fair for us to get the same amount.
Listen,
I don't say even Jesus would say that's not fair.
Minister Joan, Jesus share a similar story in the Bible in Matthew, where this man hired some people to work in the morning. I give him a penny, and just an hour later, before the work ended, they were going to pay me some of the money, and they was upset. And just say, you agree for that?
Yeah.
They agree for what I agree to give them too. So you argue for what I offer you, they agree, we had an argument too. So why you upset? Because that's what you bargain for. Right? So if you know, so for you to be upset with what the person getting now, that was your call. You made a bad choice. It's like
we don't make no choice. They're the ones who made the choice for us. We didn't if we make choice, we would get 500.
Well, no. When it offer to you, you say you want a penny, you take the penny. If you say you want 5 pence, you didn't say that. You accept the 2 penny. Right? It's like Michael Jordan and Coach. When Michael Jordan was playing, Coach came in after he get a bigger deal. Michael had signed that thing for 5 years or 10 years, something like that, and that will stick for the next 10 years. Coach can get more money for the next 10 years. So, Michael. So it is something that we have to be very mindful about, that people contribute at their level. The government give a rebate on the last tax year. Right? So based on the last tax year, everybody gets. Now, the federal government, HST, for everybody happy. Right? It did not say for those who've been 1 year here, 2 years here, 3 years. Everybody who paying taxes, everybody buying in the store, they're entitled to a tax break. Whether landed or not, or legal or not, you're purchasing in the store.
Or not.
Yeah, you have to pay. You get a tax break as well. So I think, see, one thing government always does, they calculate the risk of losing and risk of winning. Yes. So when they calculate what should I do to entice people to get to stay in power, they could either use a brutal means of keeping to stay in power, or they could entice you with free things. And in this society, government give you free to entice you. They provide for you. Look at the doctors, they're paying for doctors and nurses now. You understand? Why? I heard Rob Ford saying that they complain about providing for doctors and providing for that. They need more doctors. But what that lady knows is that in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, right? They will be the recipient of an overflowing system with doctors and nurses. Because right now, he paid up front right now. They're training now. He's paying for them now. So if you go to the office in 10 years' time, 5 years' time, when they come out full circle, she's the beneficiary. You understand? They complain about government stuff. And look at it, the 407. If we never 407, what happened to the 401 now? You understand?
Yeah.
So you have to have vision for the future. And Doug for talking about underground force for whatever number it is. I think it's a brilliant idea to get rid of congestion above ground. So in 10 years' time, she wouldn't be around, but her children will benefit from it, and her grandchildren will benefit from it.
That's right.
So she's lacking vision.
Well, you see, Pastor John, that's what I said to my family when election comes and they're asking, oh, Mom, who are you voting for? I'm saying I'm voting for my grandchildren's future.
Yeah, they vote for you.
Not for me.
Not for you.
Gone. I'm past. I'm in the
Exactly.
past. I'm voting for my grandchildren.
Mhm.
That's all the time I always said, because down the line, 5, 10 years down the line, they're the ones who's gonna inherit
Minister
whatever I
John,
vote for. Mhm.
you
Go
know,
ahead.
it's interesting you should say that, because now in the United States now, Trump has gotten rid of the Department of Education. And unfortunately for a lot of our children, if we don't homeschool them, they will not get educated.
Mm.
And that's going to be a big thing. And what is happening with that is that they can't go back to slavery, but they're going close to it. If they can't educate you, guess what? You're in the bottom. And
Mhm.
the ones at the bottom who are uneducated, they are the ones that will be working those jobs with
Mm.
little pay or no pay.
Well, you see, that's what he's doing. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, but you have to understand that before we had the Jim Crow laws, we were all segregated. And when we were segregated, we did far better
Yeah.
than during assimilation. So if we have to separate, that's fine. That's what we should be focused on, as far as I'm concerned.
But you know, I'm glad you made that point, Alithia, because sometimes we think communication is always a good thing, right? Whereas it may help to ease some of the tension and the violence. Yes, I agree with that. But even now, with the education system, school wasn't designed to educate you. I sorry to burst the bubble. Most of the schooling system was indoctrination.
Mhm.
Your education starts from your house.
Yeah, education just
It's
prepares
different
you
from indoctrination. Most
Yeah,
of us are indoctrinated.
yeah, and it prepares you to go to work,
Exactly.
prepare you to learn. Yeah, just to
You know,
follow a routine from 9 to 5,
mhm.
and whatever happens in between those walls, it's all conditioning.
I wonder, I hope you guys will buy this book, this other book I have coming out. It's called Economic and Occupational Slavery. A Soldier's Guide. You want to read that. Trust me. It's a new revolution that is taking place, and you don't need to go to a 9 to 5 to be successful anymore. The internet provide a new way of making a money that the 16 and 17 and 14-year-olds sit down in the bedroom after school for 1 hour while doing the homework and making money online.
Look how many kids are in the West Indies doing TikTok, and they are making money. I don't know if you know about, there's a whole big war right now on the TikTok with Nicki Minaj and a whole bunch of TikTok creators in Jamaica.
In Jamaica, yeah, they're making money.
They're making money, and she's influencing this crowd
Mhm.
of people, and there's becoming a lot of infighting that's going on because they want to be elevated by her profile, when in fact they don't really need to. You know, they're comedians, they're music creators, they're doing so many things,
But
and it's generating views. But they think to have an American
doing it, promoting it is fine.
promoting them would give them more credibility, but they don't really need her credibility. So
But also all of that is apart from the TikTok generation.
Yeah.
There's also economic basis that without TikTok that makes money too, like the AI investment, investing and stuff like that. With 14-year-old getting on the internet and taking their allowances, the $250 and pay into the stuff and work this stuff, let the AI generate the income from making. Imagine a kid making this young black kid making $10,000 a week.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
$10,000 a week. His mother was so excited, like this black lady. But you know what I mean? And like, come on now. I work my butt off all these years, you know, to go to college, go to university, to make $55,000 a year, and you guys sitting on here making $10,000 a week.
But he's using it wisdom. He's using
So
wisdom.
the whole idea of going to work, going to school, get an education, and go to a good job is out the window.
You don't have to go out to work anymore.
It's a sad reality, because if you have no electrician and no plumbers and nothing anymore in the near future, we got a problem.
That's
right?
That's the same thing we were talking about before, being sister.
Right? We gonna have a problem. We need to have that balance in our society. But you can't tell somebody to make money, they see an opportunity to make money, because that's the whole idea of going to work, right? That's what you're trained to do, indoctrinated to go to school, get good education, and get a nice job and go be successful. But we found out that 45 years later, that is not the truth.
As you said that, what's his name? Mr. Allen I talked with him.
Mm.
What's up? We talked on, and he is willing to come on next week, Tuesday night, for us to
Okay,
deal with that. So I would love if you could do us up a flyer.
sure.
And because I want the young people to come on, I will be talking to him on what the topics I want him to deal with. Because I really want him to talk to the young people on starting to save their money, what they should put it in. And I want him to actually come with something to tell them, because this is what happened. You have the young people go to all these different meetings, and they don't understand. They don't have something to put up to show them and say, this is what you could invest in. That is to show them so they know, they see something. And they want somebody who they can trust. And I was talking to a group of them, and they said, he came onto our show, and I really like his spirit, and I'm going to do business with him too, right? So I'm really encouraging the young people to really come on next week, Tuesday, and I'm gonna talk to them one-on-one to get them on, because if it's even to start saving $50 a month. I was watching one of the programs said, start with $100, and you can every month you put $20 extra onto it at the end of the year, and you're getting 5%, and you work that out. It's better than none at all. So I really want the young people then to come on. So please, I'm asking you to do up a flyer and put that we're having a special guest who will be, talking to them and showing them how they could start their investment or their, what do you call it now? Your old age security. What do you
People,
call it?
yeah.
There's another word for it. Better word. Yeah,
CPP?
something like that. But as you go along, send it to me, and then we can work along with the flyer. But next week, Tuesday night, we're gonna have him on. So we want to have the flyer so we can send it out ahead of time so the young people then can book that night to come on with us. Right?
Okay,
How do we
beautiful.
feel? Is everybody okay with that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Great idea. I just dropped an article in the chat that is related to what we were talking about, the fact that we have been subsidizing the Canadian system
Mm.
as Black people, especially
Mhm.
Black women, in the billions of dollars, but yet we're being underpaid. So it makes sense for us to start focusing on collectively coming up with solutions
Yes,
so that we
Mm.
can have our own employment and keep the wealth in our own community.
right. No, the young people, they're spending money too wild and too crazy, and they're not saving anything. And I want them to I want Mr.
Young
Hoffman
people,
to set it up so
it's
that so that it comes out of their pay automatically. I don't want them to be, you know what I mean? Because I have some young people around me, it doesn't matter how you talk to them, they don't get it in their head. And so I wanted to set up so it comes, all of them working, all of them have a paycheck. I wanted to come out of their account, their paycheck automatically from their bank account. Don't come in their hand and come back to me out of their account. So I'm gonna try and talk to them one-on-one between now and Monday. I might just do a group chat with everybody at once, to get them to come on and tell them that it's gonna explain, it's gonna have something online for you, what you should invest in. There's also somebody asking me about will, and I asked him if he write will, and he said yes. So I have a lot of work for him to do, because I really like him. I like how he speaks. My spirit grew with him. As a young person, he tells us about his mom dying and all of that from sort of same thing, didn't have insurance and all of that. So I am gonna trust him to put all these young people with him so he can take care of them. Because I really want to see the young people, when they reach my age, they should have money.
You
They
know,
should have
Minister
money
John,
for
to add to
retirement. Retirement was the word I'm looking for.
yeah, to
Go
add
ahead.
to that, I may have a opportunity that you can share with them
Mhm.
too that would be a good investment for them at an early age. That's something that's doable for them. But I'll
Mhm.
talk to you about it off.
Well, just text me one day and ask me when I'm available, and then I can make time. But
Well,
sometimes the
I,
text messages
I asked
comes
you a
up.
month ago. No, I'm just joking.
I know, no, but sometimes the messages comes in, and honest to God, I
And
don't
you,
have time to read it. One of my niece was here the other day. And she says, Auntie, look how many messages every minute. Even I think they're sending message. You have 17 unread messages. You have 20. And I just can't find the time to read them.
yeah.
You know, my daughter texts me. When did you guys have the snowstorm? Monday, Sunday?
Saturday.
Yeah, she texted me from when in the day, and I didn't see the text until 8 o'clock at night. When I was
Wow.
going to my bed, going to charge my phone, and
Mm.
it's on the night. I picked up my phone and I thought, and even when I picked up my phone, put the charge, I didn't see it. It's when the beep message come back in to remind me that I have a message. When I look, I said, oh my God, she phoned me from, it says 2:20 something, and this is 7 o'clock at night. Yeah,
Wow.
and she was a little bit mad, but she understand, you know, that when I'm here, it's sort of different from when I'm here. I'm busy. I'm busy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's good that you were able to do that because it's a great example. Because there's
Mhm.
women that I've met in my practice when they're dating and the man doesn't call them back right away,
Mhm.
then there's a whole different thought
Right,
process
right, right,
when people
right.
can just be busy and that's fine.
So, Sister Veronica, do that for me. Just send me a text message. Ask me when I'm available. Not tomorrow, but probably Thursday would be a better day. Tomorrow,
Oh,
my day's already gone. I have somebody coming to see me tomorrow. So Thursday would be a better day, probably Thursday afternoon.
okay.
We're having a prayer breakfast here, and I'm going out with the person to buy some stuff for it. So Thursday would be a better day, afternoon. We could
Okay.
talk.
I'll send you a
Yeah.
message.
Well, yeah. So, Pastor John, you guys have seen a storm, Starlithan, and
Yeah. I mean it's still clean up.
Oh my God, when my daughter showed me my house, my neighbors, they bank all this, and my driveway and all these things. Oh my gosh. Terrible. So anyways, they corrected it. I
Mm.
opened, tell her, open the backyard, the gate, and let they just throw it over there in the grass. And instead, sometimes people do things for their sake. You look as if they're helping you, but sometimes it's for their sake.
Yes.
Anyways, we're gonna finish off here. It was a wonderful night,
Mm.
Before we
you
go,
know.
I wanna before we go,
Mhm.
today I was online and I was searching up Alethea, I'm gonna put you on blast, sorry.
We're gonna put what?
Alethea.
Mhm.
So I was online and then I was looking up for an event coming up. And the event is the organization is called um a move motivate the motivators. Alethea?
Motivator. Motivator.
Meet the motivators,
Meet
Yeah.
MT.
them, yeah, meet the motivators. And
Mhm.
then I was like, oh, they have an event coming up in May. And I'm like, wow, that's a good event. So they had a section that says um mentors. So I opened a section because I'm also have a mentor from that same organization.
Mhm.
And when I look down, Alicia is one of the mentors.
Nice,
Oh,
nice, nice.
Yeah. So Meet the Motivators is all women empowerment leaders in
Mhm.
Ontario and Canada, specifically. It was first founded by this Black woman, a business
Mhm.
leader herself, and it's about 10 years now. And I had nothing else to do but call Alicia. And I was like,
Wonderful.
I can't believe you're one of the list there. I think there's 7 women on it, and that's a big deal because the women that's there are very accomplished women. So
Mhm.
that just to show that Alicia is one of those women, and it's
Amen.
amazing to see that because it took me almost 4 months, 4 months to 6 months to get my mentor.
Mhm.
And the people that goes to the events are people like Jean Marie,
Mhm.
um, John, the Grenadian lady,
Mm. Which
She was
one?
one of our Grenadian lady from the first cabinet, the black
Oh,
cabinet,
Gina Augustine.
Gina
Jean
Yeah,
Augustine.
she
Augustine.
was the one who
She's still
introduced.
alive?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
she was the
oh
one.
yeah.
Yeah, Jean was the one who
No, because
introduced
I haven't heard
chocolate.
about her for a long
She's
time.
Yeah,
85
and then
now,
they got
85. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
Jean Augustine, we have is this Veronica or Jennifer? I can't remember the name. She's one of the she was anchor
Mm,
and Cities TV. Also another person was Julie Black was
mm-hmm.
one of the so it's very well known women that basically being keynote speakers at the event. So Alethea, I give you a rose. You deserve your flowers.
Thumbs up, thumbs
Yeah.
up, thumbs up.
And
thank
Congratulations.
you.
don't forget to mention GEMFM when you're doing your thing. Give us some props. Give us some flowers
Yeah,
when you go over there, you know?
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a host
So
on GEMFM, you
Tell,
know, and that
tell
cool.
them, you know,
yeah.
I'm up to 64 young women and young men that I mentor.
Wow.
Nice. How
64.
did you start off, Minister
It
Jim?
started, it started like people just probably just like meeting me. I have lots of patience. And people just say, it was one of my gifts that God has given to me to for the young people. And I started out with one person
Mm,
here in Jamaica actually, and they would come here and we would go into a room and they would tell me their problems and I would go to the word and tell them what the word said about this. There was what she was facing, it was coming from the bloodline, and she did not know. Because you see, when you tell people sometimes that things are coming from the bloodline or it's inherited, sometimes they think it's it's not good, but at the same time, when you tell people certain things, they think when you said, what's the word I'm looking for, that is generational curse. When you talk about generational curse, people think that you have to kill somebody for it to be a generational curse. And so whatever she was going through, I said to her, I started to ask her a question. The Holy Spirit was just giving me what to say. So my
mm,
first one. And some of the question I would be asking her, and I would say, this sounds as if it's like generational. And then she would do us, look at me very strange. And I would tell her, just tell her what the Holy Spirit to tell me. And I went to the word about the generational curse and read it um, line by line. And then she would see the simple things as telling a lie. It can be a generational curse.
Oh,
And she was
yes.
like, oh my God.
You know, Minister John, can I share something that happened to me this week past, right? I had a family member who passed away, right? And my cousin from New York called me and she said, my Uncle Gary passed away. And I was like, oh my God. So we went through that scenario about, how he was doing before he passed away and all that stuff. So she was like, I was like, so how is your mom and your aunts and uncles, which are my cousins, right? My first cousins. And she says, I don't know, because ever since grandmother passed away, nobody in the family has spoken to each other. And I remember
mm,
I attended their which is my aunt, their grandmother's funeral. And I was like, that was years ago. She's like, I know nobody has spoken to each other. And what I realized is that she was the niece. She hadn't spoken to none of her aunts at all, right? They're all women in that on that side of the family. They're all women. She hadn't spoken to any of her aunts, and she was feuding with one another. And I said, wow, as she was telling me her story, I started thinking about me and my niece, right? Same scenario.
So generational.
Yes, yes. And then I thought about my mother's brother, his two daughters, same thing. Same thing. I said, what is up with these women? And even down to the women in the family are beautiful. I mean, beautiful, breathtaking women in our family. And not none of us are married or
Mm.
can't. can't maintain a marriage. And I said, there's something
Yeah, yeah.
we need to do about that, because that's just not normal. And that's just one of the things that we never know how that came about, right? It could be it sounds like it's a generational
It
curse. It
is.
sounds
It
like
is.
somebody made a deal with the devil, and now it fell upon the women
It's
of the family.
coming through to everybody.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah, I do believe that things like that happen, and if a person can ever get free from that, that's what I'm interested
They can. They can. They
in.
can. They can. It will take a little time because you have to go through prayer and fasting, because you're not going to do anything else. You're going to pray, and you're going to fast, and you're going to read the word on
Yeah.
generational curse. And up until today, 2 weeks ago, I text her, and this is like 15 years ago. She's still in my group. She's doing her own thing now because she can trust herself, believe in herself, and all that. But we still communicate, keep communication lines open. She phoned me 2 weeks ago, and she said, "Oh, I am in US," and I said, "Oh, wonderful." But she lives in Canada, right? And she is in Jamaica sometimes when I'm here too. So I thought she was here. This is, "Are you in Jamaica?" She says, "Oh, no, not this time." I'm in US. So that's how I started. And this one tell this one, that one tell that one. And I would see the person and just know that they're having some problems, and would just give them my number and say, "Give me a call, let's talk," you know? And even the other day, I was at a crusade, and the lady that sits beside me, it's like the Holy Spirit says, when it was time to collect the offering, she did not have an offering to give. So I take out $5 Canadian out of my purse, and I give it to her. And she looked at me and she says, "You don't know me, but you're giving me an offering." I said, "I'm just following instruction." And she said to me, "You know that my son just phoned me." She's in church, text me, ask me if I could give him 500 Jamaican dollars, which is $5 Canadian, for him to buy something for his baby. And she carried go outside and give it to her son, and came back in and sat beside me. And the Holy Spirit said, "Give her an offering," and I give her the $5. And she says, "Oh my God, I can't believe this." I said, "Why can't you believe it? Why can't you believe it? You give your last and God replace it, you know?" And she was giving me her story too. I write my number when she was leaving, I give it to her, and I said, "Call me, we can talk." And to hear her story, my God, she's the last one now that had it to the 63. It makes it feel so So sometimes God does show you some things, show you the person who you should talk to. Even online, I would be online and reading some things, and it's like the Holy Spirit said, "No, no, 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 no. Text this person or something." And I would text them, and there would be problems. Sometimes I said, "God, why you give me all these problems?" Sometimes it's tough because some of them are jail, some of them come out of prison and all these, but they just need somebody to talk to listen to. They have
Yes.
nobody to listen to them, and that's where they went into trouble. So you have to learn to listen.
Yeah, and validate. Yeah.
And deal with it. Sometimes I don't have the answer. I have to listen, right, and then go sleep on it, and then talk to them after. Sometimes it's heavy, but that's who you are. That's your
Right.
job.
Yes.
That's their job. Thank God. Some of them are ministers of the gospel now. Some of them are preaching. Some of them are evangelists. They're doing their thing. Give
Yeah.
God the glory. Give God the glory.
I have the same calling, so
To help others. Bless the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. We did it tonight again.
Amen.
We did it tonight again and more.
now can we comment on John's book?
Yeah. You can.
Why? You come in, you hairstyle, I ain't say nothing, let's compliment you. Why you attacking mine?
I like the black versus
You
the
like the black better than the white.
yes. I
It makes
love
you look younger.
yes. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you
I
think,
love it.
Talitha?
It's a year ago since I started that job I'm doing right now. And the first week into the job, the boss son called me, say, "How much years experience do you have in this field?" I say 42 years experience. He See, 42 years experience. How old are you?
Mhm,
Check my driver's license.
mhm,
You see, well, you say you don't look like that.
mhm,
I said, that's how we grow. That's how it is, because all the other people in the workspace
mhm.
that I'm at, they're same age with me, or even just 1 year, 2 year older in the same age group, right? And they look so old. you know, and
Mhm.
it just had to maintain yourself. And I was saying to someone the other day that we look at our women, we criticize as much as we want about how they look and their appearances, that they do this and do that about themselves.
Men don't take care of themselves, some of them.
Men don't take care of themselves.
Mhm, mhm,
We don't. We don't do our nails, we do our feet, we don't do our,
mhm.
last weekend my wife did my food for me and everything like that. It's something that you have to do. You have to do self-maintenance. Loving yourself is not just buying clothes for yourself and eating good food.
You have
You
to look
know,
for yourself.
your personal appearance is also something that you need to work on too.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm.
yeah,
But it
personal
looks nice,
appearance.
John. It looks
Thank
nice.
you.
It looks nice. It's wonderful. It's great.
Yeah.
Sister Lisa, do you have anything to say about Pastor John's beard?
I don't know if you saw me, but I was giving a thumbs up. So,
Okay, I didn't see that.
I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, I
That's
mean,
good.
I like the
Good.
mature look, so I
Sister
find it
Danielle, how many thumbs do you put
great.
up?
Yeah, I wanted to say that, I like the mature look, and the gray is just a good trend right now. So either or, it's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, the grace
Mm.
is trending, but then you have a
No,
look
no, no, it's not gray trendy. Salt and pepper. You gray.
at and
We are
then
doing salt and pepper.
my
So
daughter
you doing
my daughter
well,
lovely
I'm not
lovely
saying
new.
Abby, his daughter, she goes in so hard on this poor man.
Oh yeah, I know.
Abby is something else. Mm.
Mm. So what does hubby like?
Abby love the black.
The black.
Mm.
So
Yes.
she keep every time, Daddy, you again.
When you promised me so long, Christmas is over,
Yeah,
Daddy.
yeah, last week,
You do it
Daddy, again.
yeah, you did it for me for Christmas, and now you tell me you Santa for Christmas. Santa, Christmas is over, Daddy. So I
That's
have to give Abby.
wonderful. So walk up, must reach Canada and come back in his sleep. He
Mm,
probably think I'm in Canada instead of Jamaica.
mm,
Sleeping. Anyways, we're gonna close off right here. Yeah, we're just gonna tell God thanks for tonight. What a beautiful night that He has given unto us. And we just hope tonight that somebody was listening to us and learn something from what we said. We are here every night just doing what we have to do, learning from each other, learning from the word also. And so tonight we pray, as the word said, what he God puts together, let no man put it asunder. Because I think that if he didn't see it fit for us to be our people to be together, then he would not put it together. Even though sometimes you have to go through the fights and all of these and you divorce or separate, but let him put it asunder. There is people who are out there who can help you, to get it back on track. As we were talking about our friend that went away that was having problems, and she sent her question in, and we took a whole night to give her some prompts to help her through. And now they're on vacation, and I'm getting good news, and we have to say thanks be to God. To God be the glory, great things He has done. And we have helped so many people on this line, Stepping Up in Christ platform. We have to mention that, Pastor Michelle. We have done so many, put couples back together. We have heard so many things, so many couples that was going apart, that wants to separate. And with our help and with the help of the Holy Spirit, and as we said, Sister Aletha is on here. She's ready anytime to give her time up to speak to you. She is, God has put her here for a purpose, to help us along. So please, if you're out there and you're having struggle, any kind of struggle in your marriage, please don't hesitate. Or if you're not anyone, we will do our best or we will get you some help. Whatever way you want. I can't wait for my friend to come back to give us that so we can come on here and everybody, the whole world could hear what happened, the good things that happened. The bad is past and it is gone. And now we will be speaking on the good week and a half that she had on her vacation. We say thanks be to God for that. So blessings to everyone tonight. God bless you all. Thank you. And I'm so looking forward for next week when we're going to have Mr. Hallen on. I will be speaking to him. And so we're going to have the flyers ready, Pastor John, so we can send it out to you.
Yes.
To send it to your friends, especially those of us in Canada, to get some help on the topics. I will be choosing specific topics for him to speak on next week. So God bless you guys. I love you, love you, love you, love you.
Love you.
And, see you soon, Pastor John. I have
Yes.
to do my taxes.
All right. So, well, I guess there's no remote tax doing it as yet.
Yeah.
There's no remote tax doing yet, I
Yeah,
guess.
they should
First,
get
March
that one.
1st.
That would be nice.
Mm.
Would be wonderful because the thing about I have to go and then come back because we have in Michael's church is having a convention in April and they're gonna use our place. And then my sister's birthday, 65th birthday, is on April 27th. Is that a Sunday? And can you imagine she has her 65th birthday party and I'm not there when she took time out to leave. She lives in Hamilton to come to my birthday party on a Saturday because she's Seventh-day Adventist, right? And she don't go anywhere. She's one of those strict ones. And when I saw her at my birthday party, tears came to my eyes. Because I
Wow.
thought she was gonna come this Sunday to celebrate with me instead of the Saturday. So there's no way I can miss her birthday party. I have to come back here and then come
Mm.
to Canada.
Okay.
So I'm on plane ride. Gonna pray for me. Pray for
So you're gonna be in Jamaica
Canada.
in April?
I'm gonna come home, do my taxes, and come back in April.
Oh, good. I might come in April too.
You
Me and
should. You should.
my
Let
sister's
me know.
I have two sisters and a cousin whose birthday is April 23rd.
Mhm.
And they wanna take a trip.
So there you go. Let me know. Let me
Yes,
know
I'll
the
let you know.
time. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Sister Alyssa, Sister Daniela, I'm not gonna say Pastor John. He have his weekend for years now. I gave him free and he doesn't take no use of it. So I'm not gonna call his name on any of these script.
No, I told you, I talk about that.
Daniela, if
Okay.
Sister Veronica is coming, hey, you guys come for a weekend or something.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
That would be
pass by.
nice. That would be nice.
Okay, sure.
All
That
right.
would be nice.
That would
Yes.
be nice, yeah.
Mhm. And remember, the space is here. Just let me know at the time because we are putting up our business now on Airbnb. So we have to have and we already start getting bookings for April.
Look at Minister John. She's putting a new face down, ready to go.
Well, I'm gonna go sleep. I'm tired myself.
All right.
Alrighty,
Okay,
good
bye.
night.
Have a good night, guys.
Blessings.
God
Blessings,
bless you.
blessings. Love you guys.
Take care.
It was a great
Bye.
night. Bless you.
Enjoy your week.
All right.
Bye.
Ladies, blessings. Have a blessed night. Alicia, talk to you
You
later. Yeah.